These are three of the worst stratagems in Helldivers 2, at least according to Helldive Live, a site that tracks the player pick rates for weapons and stratagems. And the shield generator relay, the sterilizer, and the one true flag have found themselves at or near the bottom of these lists when facing off against at least one of these three factions. But even if these stratagems aren't very popular, that doesn't mean that they can't find their place in a well-designed loadout, right? Well, Dr. Pooplove here, and that's what I wanted to find out. In this video, I will be crafting the best loadouts that I can for the worst stratagems in this game, and taking them out versus their worst performing faction, in order to answer one simple question. Are any of these stratagems actually underrated? Starting with the least used stratagem on the Terminid front, the shield generator relay, which deploys a bubble shield meant to defend against enemy projectiles. Now, it's pretty clear why this one has a 0% pick rate on the bug front, because there are just far less projectiles here, so you don't really have much reason to use this for defense. But there are some notable perks that this does provide on this front. For one, it can halt a charger charge. Dragon Roach Fire and also Bile from the Bile Titan can not only be blocked with this, but even reflect that Bile back towards them, damaging and destroying them in the process. And so when testing this one out, I decided that I wanted to try to build a loadout with this in mind. A Bile Titan self-destruct machine that could also potentially block other sorts of bug attacks. That was my goal. And so here was the loadout. The bubble shield, of course, accompanied by two sentries, the machine gun sentry and the rocket sentry, which my bubble will try to protect. We also have the belt-fed grenade launcher so that I can lob explosives from the safety of my bubble. We have the Liberator concussive so that I can keep bugs out of my bubble, and the re-educator to gas up fools that are trying to take my bubble down. We also have the Giga Grenade for something anti-tank. And for armors, we have the medium concussive padding for extra throwables and resistant to all the explosives that I have. And so with this loadout good to go, there was only one thing to find out. How does this actually work in battle? All right, so in this case, we have a bunch of Shriekers, so maybe this will block them from being able to like really swoop in and hurt me a lot. Get out of my bubble. Get out of my bubble. Yeah, this is not working very well. Does this even block the Shriekers? I have no idea. We're about to find out if they swoop in on me or not. If they can swoop in. Wait, why is that not taking that one out? They are swooping in a little. Yeah, they're still swooping in. What the hell? So I tried to see if this would block Shrieker swoops, and that was just not happening. I also noticed that incoming bug attacks weren't really getting stalled out by this. They can be stopped when you have the personal shield backpack on, but I think it really kind of depends on where these enemies are planning to attack. So maybe this would protect you if you were sitting more on the edge of your shield. Let's put it right here. I don't know if that's actually going to do any help at all. It's just here. No one's attacking it. No one's hurting it. It's just here. It's like the dumbest thing ever. It's just the dumbest thing. And look at this. Look at this. It's just shooting it. It's just shooting it. It's one thing to note when using the bubble that placement of your sentries is crucial. You need to make sure they're in the bubble so they're not shooting the bubble. Regardless though, it didn't really seem like the bubble was really doing much for me. It was just kind of there. But finally, I was able to try this on a few Bile Titans to see if my strategy would work. Oh, okay, well, didn't work. Oh my gosh, get me out of here. Jeez. This is gonna protect me, right? Oh, maybe this will work against the Bile Titan. But he's in the bubble. He's in the bubble now. Oh my god. After those wildly unsuccessful attempts, I was at my wit's end with the shield bubble. But there were a few spare moments in this match that I felt like it did kind of come in handy. All right, we're going to do one of the most important things you can do with the shield generator relay, and that is close a bug hole. There we go. See, it's good for some things. All right, stay out of my bubble. Stay out of my bubble. Stay out of my bubble. Is this helping in any way? I have no frickin' idea. Oh shit. How did that kill me? Okay, now things did not go well for this mission, and I realized later that I was only playing on level 9, which means that if we were actually on level 10, it would have been even worse. Now, I know you can't really lay the full blame on the bubble shield for our failure here, but really it felt like this was contributing absolutely nothing on this front. It wasn't seeming to block many attacks. Maybe it did block some bile, but not really enough to feel worth it. And if anything, it kind of felt like it was distracting things. And when I did try to take this against Bile Titans, it really wasn't working that well. You really need to have good positioning and really perfect timing just to have a chance at getting this to take them down. Whereas you just have so many other offensive options to do that much easier. So with all that, do I think the shield generator relay is underrated on the bug front? No, I do not. It deserves that 0% pick rate. But the next stratagem that I would be testing actually proved to be a different story. The Sterilizer. Now, the Sterilizer is a short-range gas sprayer that deploys gas onto the enemies, confusing, hurting, and slowing them down. And this support weapon stratagem has the distinct honor of having not only a 0% pick rate on the bot front, but also on the squid front. For this one though, we were just testing it against the bots. And you can kind of understand why it's not picked too much. On such a long range front, you can see the Sterilizer struggling because of its shorter range. And also when using this guy, you have to stay focused on applying an effect to enemies rather than just killing them. So my goal here with this loadout was to try to close that gap and focus on protecting my teammates so that they could administer the damage. And with this loadout, I felt surprisingly effective, despite, as we would soon find out, my teammate not having much gratitude. Along with the Sterilizer, I equipped the Warp Pack so that I could traverse and close those gaps. I put on the Eagle Strafing Run to deal quick damage to nearby enemies, as well as deal with fabricators, and the 500 kg bomb for those bigger enemies. I also had the Plasma Punisher to dish out explosive splash damage to confused and gassed up bots, with the Ultimatum for more anti-tank damage. I also put on the Shield Throwable to protect myself in that close range mayhem, and I will also be wearing the heavy version of the Advanced Filtration Armor passive, which along with the Vitality Booster will make me completely immune to the gas damage that I'm about to inflict. And it wasn't long into this match that I was actually starting to feel pretty good about this loadout. All right, we're just gassing him up right now. Yeah, and see, now he can get him from the back. Much more effective, it's at least at first. Look at this whole group and I'm just smoking them. Okay, well, still shooting at me. We can do this, and then just take care of them. Nice. Oh, not taking any damage in this gas. But is it slowing me? It seems like it might be slowing me. Oh shit. Let's gas these guys up for a bit. Nice. Well, didn't get the Worst Strider completely. Let's gas him up, gas him up. Nothing better than some gas. Oh, that seemed to do the trick on this guy. Oh my gosh, what? Warpack coming in the clutch. How many of these guys are there? How many hooks are there? I got nothing for these guys. Actually, you know what? I do have a... Oh my gosh! Help me! Help, help, help! Oh no, 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 no. How am I alive? Okay, yeah, fall damage. This is really hard. You're playing. You have to play like deep in enemy territory for this to work. Just get him off. Get him off my teammate. Don't mess with my teammate. You neither. Just make it really, really tough. Okay, let's see. Does that take care of some of them? I'm not really too angry about this loadout. I mean, it's at least keeping me alive. It's at least helping somewhat. With a sterilizer, I felt like I was kind of getting into a good rhythm. I would warp towards enemies, gas them up, plasma them a bit, and warp away. It honestly didn't feel too bad. The range on this was a bit of a struggle, but the warp pack helped, and while my kills weren't massive, I felt like I was decently keeping the bots off my teammates' backs, serving as more of a distraction on this front. I will say though, it was a bit exhausting using this loadout, needing to switch and swap and warp around just to make an impact. But at least unlike on the bug front, I did feel like I was making an impact here. And unlike the last match, we were actually doing pretty well on this mission, being able to full clear the map and wrapping it up nicely at the end with a little ICBM to the enemies. But as we were about to head towards the Pelican, something really strange happened. Whoa, what's that for? What did I just witness? Now, I wasn't really sure what this was all about. The Pelican was coming though, so I didn't really have time to think too much about it, and I just kept on my way. But after we finished the mission, things got weird again, especially when our teammate sent the group this message. And now, I gotta say, we still finished the match, and I thought the other guy on our team did just fine. So I don't really know why he was complaining about them, but then I realized something. All along, he was talking about me. This put me in a bit of a tailspin. Was I playing on too hard of a difficulty this whole time? Was all the work I did, all the sweat I poured into this loadout, trying to save my teammates, not enough? Or was this guy just kind of upset that one time we didn't really reinforce him right away? Either way, to me, it's kind of sad that people don't know how to have an ounce of fun in this game. And perhaps despite this guy thinking my loadout sucked, I beg to differ, because with the sterilizer, I gotta say, I think this was kind of a good loadout. Like, this method wasn't the best, but it was kind of viable, especially if you can execute it well. You can sort of have this team defense playstyle here, and maybe the sterilizer isn't the best gas option for that, but it still mostly worked. And while I wouldn't necessarily say that the sterilizer gets out of the poop hater ranking on its own, with a decent loadout, I can say that at least in this situation, it did feel a little bit underrated. So it gets an underrated in my book. But the next stratagem we have was sitting at a 0.1% pick rate when I was testing this, but actually moved up to a whopping only 0.7% pick rate. So maybe at least some people are discovering that maybe this does have some underrated power to it. And of course, I'm talking about the one true flag. Now, this stratagem notoriously has been seen as largely a worthless item on any front, and despite having some melee capabilities, arguably is just there to boost team morale. And even then, it's a little bit arguable because some members of your team may not have their morale boosted when they know someone is just running around with a flag. But the One True Flag did receive a buff recently in that when waving it, and potentially also when holding it as well, you actually aggro enemies towards it. And so I wanted to see if on the squid front, this could actually become a viable strategy. I wanted to take this out and create a loadout where I would serve as a distraction, pulling enemy aggro away from my teammates and allowing them to complete the mission safely. So for my loadout, in addition to the One True Flag, I have the jetpack to keep me mobile as the enemies will be chasing me. I have the Eagle Strafing Run for dealing with groups of enemies and shields, and the Gas Strike to lead enemies into a gassy trap. I also took the Oxygenator Armor passive on the light armor set so that I could move much faster, especially as the enemies would be pursuing me the most. I took the Thermite for the flesh mobs and spaceships, and the Crisper for leading enemies into my flame trap, as well as the Liberator Carbine, which can serve as a little bit of a mini stalwart for me. And so as soon as we landed on this planet, I got to work serving as a distraction. All right, let's see if this gets them. They don't even see me. Hello, notice me. Hello, okay, now they're noticing me. See if this actually, like, does well. Ah! Oh my gosh. Leave me alone. This is me playing the distraction role. This also pairs well with the Oxygenator, with being able to slide and shoot. Being able to slide and shoot really helps with that recoil. And being mobile, still being mobile. Alright, now is this, are we actually distracting at this moment? Kind of leading everyone over here. I do think I probably should have something more flame oriented besides just this guy. All right, come follow me. Okay. Don't know if this is really like that effective, but just get them all over here. Okay, it's doing pretty well, but the flag, I feel like it's only slightly helping. Now, one thing here is it's kind of hard to notice where normal aggro on enemies begins and where the flag actually takes effect and gives more aggro. It actually seems like the enemies might simply just prioritize their aggro on me when I'm around, but other times when I was using this, it didn't really feel like it was working or doing much to at least take the aggro off of my teammates. Despite that though, this was pretty fun, especially with the Oxygenator armor and jump pack, as I was just bolting around the map, flying around, distracting enemies, and feeling pretty untouchable. Leading enemies into some traps was nice, and trying to get them away from the objectives was a fun little strategy. But again, I'm not sure how effective the flag played into all of that. Overall, this mission went pretty smoothly. So smoothly that we all just kind of sat there at the extract killing enemies for the pure fun of it, like true patriots. Ultimately though, I feel like you could serve as the same sort of distraction role, largely without the flag. So I don't know if I could call this totally underrated, but I will say it was a lot of fun. So I guess I'll call it fun-derated. Woohoo! But yeah, perhaps the pick rates for some of these stratagems might be mostly justified, but I was more impressed with the sterilizer than I was expecting. and it's generally just fun to think outside the box and adopt new playstyles. You always have the meta, but don't sleep on the little guys. Mix it up, try new things, try new strategies out, because sometimes you can find some real magic in those loadouts. But let me know in the comments which stratagems you think are underrated, and check out more Helldivers videos here. Thank you to the Pooper Troopers for joining the channel and helping us grow this bowel movement, but otherwise, so long, Pooper Troopers.